Okay, so this one, let's take this up. There's a denominator of 5. There's a denominator of 2. So what's my lowest common denominator here? 10. Yeah, so I'm going to multiply everything by 10. How many terms are here? Yep, 3. Yeah, so I'm going to multiply this whole thing by 10. I'm going to multiply this whole thing by 10. And I'm going to multiply this whole thing by 10. Okay, so okay. 2 times 10, 20. 20 divided by 5? 4. Thank you. Somebody. So 4. And then bracket x minus 1. Because I simplified it, the 2 and the 5 with the 10. Right? 2 times 5 divided by 2 times 10 divided by 5. I get the 4 times the bracket. Minus 6 times 10 divided by 2. 30. Yeah. So 30 times the bracket. And then 1 times 10 divided by 2. Yeah. So equal 5. There you go. One step, no more fraction. Okay. Now from this step, what do I do with the 4? Yep. Distribute. So distribute, 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 distribute. Okay. It's only to the end of the bracket. And then this is to the end of this bracket. So when you multiply it, I get 4x minus 4 minus 30 times 2x is 60x. And then negative 30 times negative 1 is positive 30. And then equals 5. Okay. What can I do with the x's? What can I do with the x's? Yep. So 4x minus 60x I get. Kaden? So you're adding and subtracting them. So 4 minus 60 is negative 56. And then negative 4 and 30. I can combine these two as well. So I get plus 26. Okay. So this is like the questions that you guys were doing before, the simple questions. I moved the 26 over to the other side by subtracting 26. So I get negative 56x equal 5 minus 26. I get negative 21. Now what do I do with that, with this negative 56? What do I do with it? Yep. Not multiply. Divide. Yeah, and 2 negatives make a? Good. So my final answer, x equals 21 over 56. Okay. Leave it as a fraction. You don't need to simplify to a decimal. All right, so this would be one of the harder questions on the test. All right, so if you can do this, this is like a 3-mark question. Okay. How many of you think you could do it if you see it on the test? Okay, more than half the class. If you think, no, I still can't not do it, then practice, more practice. We are building on top of this today. So you can see how like algebra, I'm doing it step by step. So each day I'm adding in a little bit more, a little bit more. So that's why I'm like checking your notes, checking your homework lately, because the algebra doesn't get easier. We're building on that. Okay, on the back side for these 5-word problems, there were 5. There were apparently too many, five too many for some of you. So who can read number 1 for us? The back?
Dahlia bought a few squirrel marbles and divided it equally among 4 of her parents and her brother Jake. While playing, Jake lost 2 marbles and has only 7 marbles at present. Find how many marbles did Dahlia buy in all?
Okay, good. So you want to look at the final sentence. Right. How many marbles? So your marble is X. So Dahlia bought marbles, so that's X, and she divided it among her friends and her brother. So altogether, how many people did she split it with? Not including her. 5, yeah. So four of her friends and her brother. So divided by 5. Jake lost 2. So what does that mean? Yeah, -2. And at the end, yeah, that's it. There you go. So if we use yesterday's method, my lowest common denominator here is 5. So if you multiply everything by 5, I'm left with x minus 10 equals 35. Right? Multiply this by 5, multiply this by 5, multiply this by 5. I get this. So moving the negative 10 over to the other side, I get 45. That's my answer. Will this answer give me full marks? Ellen? Statement or unit? Right, what's my unit here? Marbles. Right. Okay. If at the end you get the answer like 37.6 marbles, does that make sense? Can you have 0.6 of a marble? No. Okay, so that's like your hint, check your answer. Okay. Number 2, who can read that? Who can read this for us? Thank you.
A bus departed from New York at 11 p.m. with 44 passengers. An hour later, a few passengers got off at New Jersey. The number of passengers who boarded the bus at New Jersey were twice the number of passengers who got off the bus. If the bus has 50 passengers now, how many passengers got off at New Jersey?
Okay, thank you. So again, reading the last sentence, how many passengers? That would be your variable. So that's P. So my statement could be at the beginning there were 44. Some passenger got off, and then twice as many passenger got on. So you're adding to P. Okay, and then now in total there's 50 people. So there you go. There's your expression. There's your equation. Add the p's together. So negative p plus 2p, you get plus p. Okay, move that 44 over to the other side. So p equals 6. Okay, and 6 what? Passengers. Passengers. Okay. Number 3. Yeah, thank you.
Clara lends half her collection to form more attires to her sister, Susan. Clara then buys 4 more attires. If she has 12 attires now, how many attires did Clara Clara had initially?
Perfect. Okay, so how many attires? That means that's your x. So at the beginning, she gave half of it out. So x divided by 2. And then she buys 4 more. So what do I do for buying 4 more? Yep.
Plus 4 equals 12.
Yeah. And now she has 12, so equals 12. Okay. For this one, again, I have a denominator, but because there's just one denominator, I can do the old-fashioned way, like what we did last week. So I can move this 4 over. I can move this 4 over. So I wanted to show both way works. So if I move this 4 over, it's minus 4. So then you have x divided by 2 equals 8. And then to move that 2 over, because this is dividing by 2, I would do times 2. And so I get x equals 16 attires. Okay. You can do it either way because there's just one denominator. If there were more than one denominator, then this way works better. Okay. But if there's just one, you could just do it the simple old-fashioned way, moving the 4 over first and then moving the 2 over. You'll get the same answer. Okay, back, number 4.
The Rock Zoo nurses 37 species of big cats. Recently, a few species of big cats were sponsored to other zoos around the country. The zoo now nurses only 25 species. How many species of big cats were sponsored to the other zoos?
Okay, so your expression, 37 minus, s. That's your variable, the species, and it equals 25. Move that 37 over, so you get negative s equals 25 minus 37, so you get negative 12. And then when you divide everything by negative 1, you get s equals 12. Can you have negative species?
No.
Yeah, so if you do get a negative answer, you know you probably made a mistake. Okay. And that's the good thing with word problems. With word problems, you probably won't get negative answers. Okay, if you do, check your work. All right, last one.
Megan and 4 of her friends plan to go for a long drive. She buys 12 bottles of grape and a few bottles of orange juice from a supermarket. The total number of bottles they have are 4 times that of the orange juice bottles. How many bottles of orange juice did Megan buy?
All right, so again, how many bottles of orange juice means that's your variable. So if you go back to read it the second time, she buys 12 bottles of frappe, so 12, and a few bottles of orange juice, so plus B. Okay, the total number of bottles they have are 4 times that, 4 times orange juice, so equals 4B. Okay, and there you go. That's your equation. This is actually what we're going to work on today. So in today's lesson, this is what we're solving. So I have B. In this case, I'm actually moving the B over, and it becomes minus B. So you have 12 equal 4B minus B. You get 3B, and then divide it by 3. Divide. So 12 divided by 3, you get 4. All right. Is this a good final answer? What's my final answer?
You need the unit rate.
Which is 4 bottles of oranges. Not if you just write bottles, it's not good enough. It has to be bottles of oranges because the other one is also bottles. Okay. How many of you got all 5 of these word problems correct? Okay. Okay, good. So if you did, wonderful. Even how many of you got at least the first 4? The first 4. Okay, because number 5, as I said, it is today's lesson. So we'll get on to today's. So just like yesterday, I want you guys to be copying down the notes. Okay, I have paper up here if you need to borrow some paper. The equation, solving, strategies, part 2. There's no more? Oh. Alright, so I'm gonna come around to check your note-taking skills again. King, I think he needs one too. He needs paper. Oh. Yeah. Also, he didn't come back. Yeah. Okay, so when I see that you guys are good independent learner without me having to check your notes, then I won't have to come around. I didn't have class to check. Okay. Um. Okay. So example 1. Solve for x. Negative 4x minus 1 equal negative 3x plus 5. Okay. So what's different with this question than all the other ones that we did? What's different with this question? Kaden? Oh, sorry, Austin, sorry. Yeah, there's x on both sides. Okay, the ones that we've been doing was like this or like this, but now we have x on both sides. So here's 3 steps. Move all variables to the left. Move all constants to the right.
Sorry, I just wrote ladder.
Oh, it's the same thing. Letter variable is the same. Move all variable terms to the left. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, to the left. This is what happens when you write faster than you think. Thank you. How many of you actually wrote the word letter? Okay. Move all variables to the left. Move all constants to the right. When you move something to the other side of the equal sign, what do you have to do? When you move something to the opposite side, what happens to the signs? Yeah, so don't forget to change sign. Okay. So in this case, what should I move to the left side? Austin. Negative 3x. Yes, I want to move negative 3x to the left side, and it will become negative 3x plus 3x. Good. And what am I moving to the right side? Maria? Perfect. Okay. So now I do my mental math. Don't write out the full steps. You can just do it mentally. Negative 4x plus 3x, I get negative 1x. And then 5 plus the 1, I get 6. So that's my second step. We combined it like terms. Right? So I combined it the x's together, I combined it the numbers together. Okay, so what's my last step here? What do I do with this negative 1? Yep. I don't make it positive. Negative 1 times x, opposite is divide. So I divide it by negative 1. That's my last step, divide. Okay, so 6 divided by negative 1, x equals negative 6. That's my final answer. Right? How do I check if my answer is correct? Yep. Okay. Negative 4 times 6 is, negative 4 times negative 6 is 24. 24 minus 1, I get 23 on the left side. Negative 6 times negative 3, I get 18. 18 plus 5, I get 23 on the right side. Left side and right side matches. I know I got the right answer. Okay. Example 2. Let's try example 2. x minus 2 equals negative 3, 2x plus 6. Remember, I'm checking your notes, so make sure you're copying all 5 examples. What? Thank you. Okay, so should I start moving my variables? What's my first step then? I see some people say no. Okay, Maria, what's my first step? First step is to solve the multiply 4 with its bracket. Right, distribute, which means I multiply, multiply, multiply. So distribute first. 4 times x, 4x. 4 times negative 2, negative 8. Equal negative 3 times 2x, negative 6x. Negative 3 times positive 6, negative 18. Okay. So now if you look at this, isn't this just like example 1 now? Yeah, it's exactly like example 1. I can do my 3 steps. Okay. What should I move to the left side? Other than Maria. Okay, so Logan, I want to move all my variable terms to the left. So what should I move to the left? Negative 6x. When I move it, it becomes? Positive 6x. Perfect. And I want to move all my constants to the right. Negative 8. Perfect. Yeah, good job. So, Dante, 4x plus 6x. Good. Equal negative 18 plus 8. Negative 10. Good. I combine it my like terms. And last step, King. What's my last step? Oh, well, we're on number 2. But what's my divide? Right. So my last step is just to divide it. So x equals negative 1. Okay, so it's just 3 steps. Move all the letters to the left, move all the numbers to the right, collect like terms, divide. Okay, math is so funny, right, Logan? Okay, so who's ready? Who's ready for a challenge? All right, example 3. Let's try it. Okay, so this is combining what we learned yesterday and today. Equal 1/5 2 by minus 8. Right. Again, the question is solve for y. Okay. So this is combining what we did yesterday and what we did today. Okay, so I see 2 denominators. What's my first step? Yeah. Perfect. Find the lowest common denominator. So what is it between 3 and 5? 15. Good job. How many terms do you see here? 2. Good job. So I'm multiplying this whole thing by 15. And I'm multiplying this whole thing by 15. Okay, just like the beginning of class, what we did with number 20. All right, so now we can simplify. Remember the point of this trick is to get rid of our denominator. So by the next step, we should have no more denominator. But back, 15 times this bracket divided by 3.
25 plus 30 divided by
So do this part first, because you want to get rid of your
13 times,
15.
15 times 3, that would be 45.
Divide.
Oh, my.
Yeah. So 5 times the bracket. Okay, and then what about this side? What does it simplify to? 15 times 1 divided by 5.
You're asking.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah. So 3 times this bracket. Okay, no more fractions. And guess what? This is now the same as example 2. Right? Okay, take 30 seconds. Try to see if you can do this. Take 30 seconds, try this. So you want to distribute and then move letters and numbers. But distribute first. Distribute. Okay, so Hayden, I am checking your notes. Make sure you have everything copied. We're trying this one right now. Distribute first. That's you. Alright, don't do mental math. Do it in your on paper. It works better. Less mistakes.
Yêu cầu của bộ đội công độ.
I will. No, number 3 now. Catch up. No, don't slow down. Who has an answer? Good. All right. Felicia, what did you get? Okay, so let's work it out. 5y. And then? Good. Mm-hmm. Good. And then next step? Mm-hmm. Good. Ooh, negative 24 minus 10. Good. And the last step? Yeah. Divide by negative 1. So what's your final answer? Negative 34 divided by negative 1. Positive 34. How many of you got positive 34 as your answer? Awesome. Good job. Okay. If you can do this, you understood yesterday's and today's lesson. Bye. Question.
For the one on the right, one for 5 times the 2i on the very top. Can you just do 30y minus 120 over 5?
Yeah.
Oh.
But then you don't forget to reduce it. Because when you reduce it, you'll get the 6y minus 24.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the same thing, but I just like to get rid of the fractions in the very first step. You just did it in the third step instead, but it's the same. Okay. Last 2 examples. Let's do 2-word problems. Example 4. The square and triangle has the same perimeter. What are the dimensions in centimeter? Okay, so there I have a square. Okay, 3K. And I have a triangle. Let's say this is 2K plus 1, and this is 6 centimeters. Okay, I hope the number works because I just made up these numbers. It's not an equilateral triangle. What type of triangle is this? What is it called? Isosceles. Good. Okay. So I just changed up the question a little for this one. Okay, how do I find the perimeter of a square? Yep. Perimeter. You're thinking area. Add them all together, or since it's a square, what's the shortcut? Perimeter of a square. Yep. Length times 4. Yeah. So in this case, 4 times the 3K. Right? This is the same thing as saying 3K plus 3K plus 3K plus 3K, or just 4 times 3K. It has the same perimeter as this triangle. Okay, so this one, how do I write out this? What expression can I do to write the perimeter of this triangle? Ellen? Good. And then plus 6. Right. Do I need to put centimeters here? No, I just want units at the very end. Don't worry about the unit there. All right, so this side plus this side plus this side. And there you go. Okay, great. So now we have an expression. We can solve it. We can distribute this. We can multiply these. So 4 times 3K, I get 12K. And then here, 2 times 2K is 4K plus 2 plus 6. All right. Remember, I don't multiply the 2 to the 6 because this is the end of my bracket. Yeah, definitely. But you should be copying down notes right now. Okay, but still, I want to see your notes at the end of the lesson. Okay, collect like terms. So what should I move to the left? Yep. Yeah, move the 4K over. Becomes minus 4K. So 12K minus 4K, I get 8K. And then here I get 8. Wow, I chose nice numbers. Last step. Logan, what's my last step? Divide. Right, remember our 3 steps? Third step, divide. So K equal 1 what? Centimeter. Okay. If I write this as my final answer, I'm gonna get a 2 out of 3 if I just left this like this. Dante. If the length equals nope, not my therefore statement. Where'd you get the 12 centimeters from?
3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3.
Oh, but I'm looking for. You're on the right track. I never answered the question. Okay, I saw for K. That's great, But Alex, what is the question asking me?
So the square is
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm asking for the dimensions. So the dimension of the square, this is a 3 by 3 square. And here, 2 times the 1 plus the 1 equals 3 centimeters. And this triangle is a 3, 3, 6 triangle. All right, so you're right, yeah. When I saw this triangle, is it not possible? Ah, yeah, there is 2 lines. Yeah, true. Yeah, this would have to be a little more. Good recognition. Uh, we this is actually like grade 10 when we prove what shape it could be. Okay. Last example. Final one. Final one. Final one. As I said, today was going to be a longer lesson, but you'll get the whole day tomorrow to work on the practice problem. So you'll do fine. A number n decreased by 7 is equal to 3 times a number plus 1. Determine the number. Okay. If you're wondering why they can't just tell you the number, I don't know why. Right? They want you to solve for the number without telling you what that number is. Okay, a number n decreased by 7 is equal to 3 times a number plus 1. Determine the number. Okay. Deandra, can you help me with this one? Just the first part. A number decreased by 7. Can you translate that to math? Yeah, is equal to 3 times the number is 3 times the number n. That's it. There you go. See, you can do it without all the other whispers. So it's really word for word translating it into a math equation. On the test, if you can come up with this, you got a mark already. Okay. Move letters to the left. Move letters to the left. What should I move to the left then? Letters. Good. When I move that 3n over, it becomes 3n. Good. And move the number to the right. Move that -7 over, and it becomes, yeah, see, you could do it. That's why I call on you, because I know you could do it. Dante, finish this up for me. N minus 2n. Ooh, I'm sorry, n minus 3n is minus, so it's n minus, yeah, -2n. And 1 plus 7 is 8. Last step. Miriam, what's my last step? Divide. Good. So 8 divided by -4. So n equals, oh, sorry, I said in the answer. 8 divided by -2. You get final answer? -4. Okay. So yesterday, if you guys solved this question, you wouldn't be able to solve it. But now that you know what to do with the variables and the numbers, you can solve it. So we have about half an hour left of class. You can get started on the work. So the work for and then anything that's not done is work for tomorrow. So number 3, 7 to 12. Okay, and where can you find the questions? Brightspace, or because I really want you guys to work on these, I photocopy them out. Alright, so here, classwork / homework, number 3, 7 to 12. So 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes, there are answers. So that's why you should be showing your work.
You're enjoying the fact that we're suffering.
By not showing your work. It's funny how I say it like so many times. I sound like a broken record, and you still tell me the next day, Miss, I didn't show my work, but I got the answers. I did mental math.
Post the answers. So
Well, it's for you guys to check to make sure you guys are on the right track. So make sure you try it, show your work, show your work, show your work. Even if the answer is wrong, I don't care. Show your work, that's how I can catch your mistake. If you don't show your work, I don't know where you went wrong. Okay? So there you go. I'll give you guys all one of these. I'll post this video because I know we did quite a bit today. And tomorrow, asynchronous day, this is what you guys will be working on.